Hi, my name is Yafa, and recently there's been talks on the way we should run things here in America, with one side saying we should turn to Scandinavian countries as a model. Countries like Denmark, for instance.
We know that in countries in Scandinavia, like Denmark, Norway, Sweden, in those countries, healthcare is a right of all people. In those countries, college education, graduate school is free. And in those countries, by and large, government works for ordinary people in the middle class.
And the other side saying that's a costly, grave mistake, and rather we should help fix what this great country was built upon.
But we are not Denmark. I love Denmark. We're the United States of America, and it's our job to rein in the excesses of capitalism so that it doesn't run amok, but we would be making a grave mistake to turn our backs on what built the greatest middle class.
Now, these are two serious opinions on two completely different systems. The social system in Denmark is based on respect for the individual and responsibility for the common good. The high taxes is almost a guarantee that no one falls behind. The result, the possibility of the extraordinary difference in the quality of your well-being. The result, the improbability of you becoming rich, but the guarantee of you not becoming poor. Now, comparing Denmark to the United States, they're almost impossibly different in every possible way. So what do Danes think of this system? And what can America learn from this system? What are some things that make Denmark different than all the other European countries?
Society with a very short distance from the poor person to the rich person. Danish society was very characteristic and we all stick togetherness.
What makes Denmark different from the rest of European countries?
Well, because of our economic situation and because we pay a lot of taxes, we have it better than most of the other European countries, especially in the south of Europe. One good thing about Denmark that we have, to a certain degree, a really good and firm structure in our system.
What makes Denmark, like the country Denmark, different from all the other countries in Europe?
Extremely good welfare, and you are allowed to drink at the age of 16, which probably contributes toward we're the happiest country in the world because we're allowed to drink at such a young age.
Yeah, also we're kind of fitness nation, so there's a lot of focus on healthy food and fitness.
I think the Danish mentality, we love to immigrate a lot of people because we want people to take part in the Danish culture because we think it's great. But even though our current political system don't agree with that, they want to shut off all immigration towards Denmark.
What makes Denmark different from all the other European countries?
We have a strong economy, and our taxes makes us able to have this security around us.
What are some things America can learn from Denmark?
You know, from a Danish point of view, this American right to wear arms, so every citizen can have a gun in his home and kill somebody. That's, I think you should learn, to put that away, because that's really stupid.
Any other things that America can learn from Denmark?
Well, I think a lot of Americans think of Denmark as a socialist country, but it is not a socialist country. It's a capitalistic country. It's a liberal country. You could Americans could learn that it's not, something bad to take care of people, that you have a society of people taking care of each other. It's a good thing, and it's not a socialist thing. It's just common sense.
So do you like living in Denmark?
I like living in Denmark. Yes, I do.
What are some things America can learn from Denmark?
Solidarity, I think so.
Healthcare. Like Obama. Listen to Obama. He has a vision. He has a vision. He wants to be like Denmark, and the healthcare system is really good, and it really takes care of everyone. And sometimes it can be a really expensive thing, but it's also something that everyone benefits from. We get paid to study, and that's really, I think, a little carrot to do better.
But also like freedom under responsibility. For example, the weapon law. That's just, you should get rid of that. I don't know if we have that much in Denmark. Like, there should be a much broader middle class in America, and that's such a huge difference between rich and poor. So I think that's something we can, that US can learn from Denmark.
What are some things America can learn from Denmark?
I think that because Denmark is a very small country, the US can learn a little bit about maybe be more aware of the world around them, because that's what we always have to do here, because we are never alone. So speaking like this is really comfortable for me, because that's, I speak English all the time because we're such a small country that I always have to have friends in other countries, know about other cultures. So I think that's a very wise thing. Then we have I would say we have at least half of the politicians in Denmark who try to look at other values and financial values and values in terms of military power, but also values in terms of what we believe in or what we like, or the environment, things like that.
What are some things America can learn from Denmark?
It's difficult because we can learn so much from each other, and the countries are so different. The world is such a complicated place nowadays, and we are all a lot concerned about what what goes on, both in our own countries and in other countries, and we are very much informed. So for me, I'm very confused. Yeah, both about what the Danish country does and what our politicians do nowadays, and in respect to the rest of the world. I think it's very difficult. I'm also concerned about the protection of personal data, but again, that's also because I'm a lawyer and I'm very much interested in that.
But I think actually we see that America is about to learn something from Denmark when we see like Bernie Sanders winning in different states, and I think actually you're about to get a little bit more of Denmark than you have before. So I think you're in a good direction.
Do you like living in Denmark?
I love living in Denmark, but it's because like the government provides you like a sort of secure blanket or safety net. Like always, if you fall, the catches you.
You get unemployed, no matter what, the government got your back because you pay taxes once a month, and it may be a lot, but then you help others that isn't as strong financially as you. Maybe.
Yeah, I like that. That's the solidarity. I think it's the most important thing in Denmark. Like we always have each other's backs, and I just love being here. It's so secure, and you can walk down the street and not being afraid of someone might rob you, or you don't hear that people get killed or anything. It's just like a big hug you get from Denmark all the time. It's a really nice place to live. I love it.
At least, again, this is a prejudice, but I think that sometimes the US, the money counts a lot, and at least some politicians here try to look at things in another way.
And do you like living in Denmark?
Yeah, very much, yeah.
Why is that?
We have a very good educational system here. I have a master's degree that I got for free. The government paid me to study, which means that I got a really good education, I have a good job, and I'm able to pay a lot of taxes, but these taxes go to new youngsters who can get their education for free. Coming from the background I came from in the US, I wouldn't have been able to get this education.
So what do you think makes Denmark so happy?
I think what makes us happy is that we have the security, we have a safety net. Basically, we have, we're islands, we have water all around us, and we are not inflicted in any wars or big natural disasters and stuff like that. We are safe. We go to sleep safe, and we drink a lot of red wine.
Oh, okay.
And we have beautiful girls. Okay. And sexually we are freed. I mean, I don't think we are timid by anything. We are free in spirit and free in nation and mind and everything else. I think that has a lot to do with it.
What are some things America can learn from Denmark?
I think free healthcare and free education is a good thing.
Yeah, I think huge distance between poor and rich in America. It's not that big in Denmark.
We have very high taxes, so we have a welfare system. So even though you are poor, you aren't really that poor. Again, you can still afford having living and food and education. This social system that will catch you no matter what.
Why do you like living in Denmark?
I think it's a beautiful country. I think it's very open-minded towards other people.
So what can America learn from Denmark?
Well, we're getting very Americanized at the moment. If you look at our politics and the way we used to do things maybe 10 years ago, you could learn something. Now I would say that it's a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit more complicated. You can learn maybe something from our socialist government, and not even them, but they're kind of also in the middle of everything. Everyone, like government is kind of pressed into the middle. Don't really have that big of a gap between the parties. Not really. You have a couple, but they don't have that much to say, unfortunately.
So it's really polarized.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. It's a security. Yeah, we don't have any wars. That's a big thing, and I think that's what people take for granted. Maybe that we are in a very safe place.
What are some things America can learn from Denmark?
I would actually, the welfare system, or a bit like more other things, like the gun laws again. I don't know, maybe try to be more, like I think some American people are very offended by some things, and I think in Denmark it's better, like it's more, we're just cool about it. If someone offends who you are, like female, race, in Denmark we're a little bit more like, okay, that's cool, that's funny, instead of being very offended by it. It's like stereotype. We can make fun of stereotypes, is what I mean. No, I just think we can see when it's a joke and when it's not a joke. Like we can take a joke. I would say like the healthcare system here is very good because it's free. Of course, there's taxes then, but I think that's better. Like so everyone can get it. And I think the gun control laws are better. The healthcare and the gun control laws.
So, what are some things America can learn from Denmark?
One of the things you could learn is not exaggerate too much. To take it easy on a few things. Like a few years back, there was the whole Super Bowl nipple scandal, and nobody in Europe understood why, because it's a nipple. who cares? Everybody has them. I have them. Most women have them. Not everybody. Dogs have them. Horses. I think the way in which you exaggerate on sexual and religious matters are sometimes shocking.
So do you like living in Denmark?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I know everybody runs off about taxes being high, and it takes a hell of a lot of worry from you.
It's so different you are such a young nation. We have been around for thousands and thousands of years. You have so much more, and you're such a great melting pot of all kinds of nationalities. Everyone brings their things into America. And we are like farmers from Vikings from thousands of years ago. So we have a different fundamental growing of a nation than you have. It's a whole different history.